And welcome to the We Like Sportz Show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus, with my co-hosts, Casey and Keith. How's it going, guys? Especially, we'll start with you, Casey. How's it going down in Orlando?
It's pretty good down here. I was telling Ed before the show, it was raining. It's raining all day, so pretty dark and not as hot as usual. So today was kind of weird. Went to the grocery store in the rain, but spent $167, but it seems like I didn't buy anything, so that's the usual. But that's all from me. How about you, Keith?
Everything's good. Everything's good. It's a Monday. Weekend
Wow.
went too fast.
No, you can't. But you know what you can win with? You can win with Titan Nutrition, like our man Casey over there. Show him the guns, Casey. Absolutely. So, like I said, head on over to Titan Nutrition. They got your pre-workout. You get 10% off. TitanNutrition.net/We Like Sportz. Make that order and get ripped and have the guns like Casey has over there. And then also Casey, like we always like to point out at this time, it's all about money as well. So head on over to the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe, the Black Bookie. He has you set for Sunday with a Snooze You Lose pick of the week. So he'll put some more cheddar in your wallet. So check that out as well.
Everyone could use that.
Who could not use that? That is absolutely correct. So
Definitely.
obviously, guys, it's the MLB trade deadline coming up. We like to talk baseball on this show. But first, we'll start before we talk about any moves. Let's talk about the Cleveland Guardians, our home squad per se. We'll start with you, Casey. What's your take on that? They went to Chicago, won 2 out of 4. Didn't look good in games 2 and 3, but they got the bookend wins 1 and 4. So, what's your thoughts on the Guardians? And then we'll go into the moves that they just made. Break-ed news.
I see. It's pretty interesting because like I think we've talked all year, right? They're on 500 because they have those games where you're like, man, they're all together here. They can make a run. And then they have games right after that say, man, are we even going to make the playoffs this year? So it's tricky to figure out really what we are just because, it's just inconsistent, right? And we make some moves. Those are interesting. And I mean, those young pitchers were worried about, going into, can they pitch that many innings? Can they go through strong? It's up to, Tito to see if he can put all the cards together like he usually does to make the playoffs, then go from there. But only time will tell, I feel. How about you, Keith?
All I'm going to say is who are going to be our 4th and 5th starters? Since you all know now that the Guardians traded Aaron Savali to Tampa Bay.
What do you think about that, Keith? Okay, so obviously I see a lot of rumblings on Twitter and other social media platforms talking about, Savali, he's not exactly a number 1, but he's been our hottest pitcher, especially this last month. And
I was just about to say, he's decent enough. And
Yeah.
think about this. Over the years, he's always been decent. The problem is in the last 3 years or so, he's been hurt. Like the one year he would have been in the All-Star game here in 2019, injury.
No, it's true. It's kind of crazy because people saying we didn't get enough or we got, what we should have gotten. It's a good trade. It's just because, like Keith said, with the injuries, he hasn't been, injury free the last 3 years. So there's a risk that he can get hurt this year still. Like Corey Kluber, when we got rid of him, right? He went and traded to the Rangers, played 2 games or something, and got hurt and was out for the year, and we got Class A in return. So it's interesting to see how that goes. Time will tell. And the guy we got, I sent in the group, there was an article written about him saying that he's be a great MLB player, and he's not just hitting for power, but he hits for contact as well. But he's pretty young, so we have no idea what he could be or what he's not going to be.
What he's in AA?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he's at. Because judging by the article, too, that you ended up sending Casey, it was AA that he ended up being in because he missed time for mono even, which was something that made me think of, what's his name, Sam Darnold for a minute. But also, on top of that, what ended up happening, like, what's the future for the Guardians at first base now? Because Josh Bell isn't the answer if you're getting a first baseman in a return out of your trade. Josh Naylor probably is going to be your full-time DH then, I'd assume, and then you end up you have so many different prospects too. Like you have John Kenzie Noel too, who could be playing first base. You got to move him around. You have Oscar Gonzalez. You could maybe transition him, but at this point, I think he's a lost cause possibly, just seeing how he's performed this past weekend. But I mean, there's so many different options that you have out there. Trading for a first baseman, I'm starting to think that there's more moves ahead. Like if they're shopping around Clase now too. If that's the truth, him going back to the Rangers is just going to be weird.
Wait a minute, they shopping? Whoa! They shopping around Clase?
It's what I saw earlier today, at least, and confirmed by a couple other.
Well, Keith, before we get into that, because to the audience out there, is this the real Peyton Vince? We want to know. You jumped on here, you're spitting all this Guardians knowledge. You're giving this breaking news of moves possibly going down. So Peyton Vince, welcome to the We Like Sportz Show. I just want to throw this out. This is the real Peyton Vince.
Thank you very much. I'm glad. I didn't know if I had to end up changing my name to the real Peyton Vince anytime I joined. So, but yes, this is me. I am Peyton Vince. Welcome aboard the We Like Sportz Show, and more Guardians moves too, hopefully.
Yeah. So going around the horn real quick. So what do you think is the mindset of Chernoff and Antonetti, the Guardians brass in the front office? Are they giving up on the season, or what do you think? Or like to Peyton's point, do you think there's more moves to be had maybe to compete this year? Because, nobody's running away with this division. I think to win the division, Keith and I, we've talked about it, maybe 85, 86 wins, maybe not even that many. So are they giving up this year? Or are they basically saying our pitching staff's really, really depleted? It's hurt with Bieber and McKenzie going down. We got these young guys with Bybee and Gavin Williams and Logan Allen, and we still think we can compete trying to go the young route? Or do you think they make another move and try to go to somewhat to win the division this year?
Can I go first on this one?
Yes, absolutely. We'll go counterclockwise here. Yep.
Just because I've been thinking about this since the first trade ended up happening today. I want to say that's the perception too, is a lot of people end up thinking that they're going to be sellers, but this is kind of, if you look back to last year, it's kind of going into the Guardians game plan. If they want to end up just having youthful players and groom them in the major leagues, look at last year. You had 17 plus debuts from just guys in the system. It's almost like they're trying to recycle that and see what you could catch lightning in a bottle again. But at the same time, I hope that there's rumors, like you have all these prospects, and they're only rumors and they're outlandish rumors, but people are like, oh, well, what if Juan Soto ends up coming here? And you have Luis Robert, who ends up he's on the trading block now, and White Sox said he was untouchable for a minute.
There's a lot of their top dudes. Yeah. Wow.
What do you think, Keith? What are your thoughts? Are they giving up this season? What are your thoughts?
I really can't say that they're giving up because they're still a game and a half out. Yeah. But let's just say, I guess they're thoroughly convinced that the three rookies in the starting rotation can lead the way. Because Bybee's been leading the way really since the whole season, since he's been up. And Gavin Williams, once they get him to get his pitch count down, he'll be something to deal with too. And Logan Allen has been consistent. Even though at times he gets caught up like not gets caught up like Williams and throws too many pitches, and then he starts throwing, and then Allen starts giving up home runs. But it's a weird circumstance because they're not out of it. This is what makes you wish like they was in the AL East or the AL West, where it'd just be academic.
Where you could have a more definitive. So you're looking for more definitive, more clarity with this division being basically in flux like it is. Being a buyer or seller, it's hard to distinguish what you're really doing in a division that it's hard to tell what these teams are really doing. Because look, the fact that Detroit's even in third place and the fact that they're within somewhat of a striking distance this late in the season is that kind of mind-boggling. But so as a front office guy, I mean, it's hard, but I think with the Guardians, you look at them and you look at their track record, and I like what Peyton said, basically, you can win and you can kind of redo your roster and get younger at the same time. That's one thing about having these 3 starting pitchers that they got with Allen, Bybee, and Williams. It's like it buys you a little bit of, maybe an extra half a year to a year, because it's like they're doing things as triplets, as like basically rookie pitchers coming in here and basically making that window. It's kind of like pushing it back. I wouldn't say it's widening it, but it's pushing it back maybe to 2026, 2027, and you can still compete that way. But I still think, from the fans' sake, you got to try to win the division this year. I mean, maybe people don't like it that, you win the division and then you get bounced in the first round or the ALDS or whatever this case may be. But you know what? You still sell merchandise. You still celebrate. It's still a fun time. I would still rather win a meaningless division and make the playoffs and still do what they're doing and get younger and getting players for the future as well, because I think the Peyton's point, they're going to have to make a big move eventually, whether it be this year or maybe at winter, with Josh Bell and everything, deciding what he's going to do. So I wouldn't panic, Guardians fans out there, because there are moves to be had. And I don't think there's anybody in Major League Baseball that you look at like, oh, I don't think in the next, 2 to 3 years they're juggernauts like Houston was maybe 2 to 3 years ago, and thinking we're not going to win anyways. I still think that Major League Baseball is competitive that way. So Casey, what do you got?
I mean, it's interesting just because I don't think they're giving up personally, because they'd be insane to do that in the situation that they're in. And like you said, it's better to make the playoffs than not make the playoffs, right? Especially in a season like this where, again, our division's just not strong, right? So we can't give away an opportunity to succeed when we have this opening, in the division, because we've lost to Detroit many, many times in my life. So and they could just not beat them once we got over the hump. Then we started winning the AL Central, which is important. But I think it's interesting to look around the league at Los Angeles, right? The Angels, that we were talking, hey, maybe they're going to trade Shohei. Where's he going to play next after? Is he going to finish season on the Angels, right? And then just like that, they keep him. And then they trade for everybody. They're getting pitchers, starting pitching, everybody, right? So it's interesting, the approach, right? From we're on the same record as the Angels, right? So it's interesting, the approach. And the Texas Rangers, we love talking about them. Look at the Rangers; they're making a ton of moves that you would never even thought of starting the season. Even a month ago, you wouldn't have thought they'd be making the move that they're making right now. So it's interesting around the league, the different approaches people are going to take. Because we got the Astros right now playing in 8 o'clock tonight.
Well, Casey, let's do this, because you keep mentioning the AL West. We have adopted the American League West on the We Like Sportz Show. We love the American League West. Shout out to Alan. He's a big Texas Rangers fan. But so we're going to go down the rundown. Texas is hanging on with a 1.5 lead over Houston. The Guardians are in Houston to face the Astros tonight.
Syndergaard debut.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Hey,
Ooh.
I'm praying.
Okay. I think if anybody could change him, though, I think the Guardians would be the team to change him, though. I feel like that feels right now. I mean, it's going to be interesting, him coming off of the injured list, but time will tell, though, at least.
Yeah.
It's interesting why he didn't play on the Dodgers. He only, his thumb or whatever, his finger, it was crazy because that wasn't a real injury. They were pushing that out.
Well, fun fact about a new power hitting pitcher. I put out a tweet last week, went viral, had over 1,000 likes, plenty of retweets, and 1,600 fewer at-bats than one center fielder, Miles Straw, which I have a bet with Casey. If he ever hits a home run, I'm to get Casey a jersey.
Yeah, I told you, you're not putting that on the company credit card. Too.
I am not. I know this will be personal. Yeah, this will come from my kid's college fund. But
there we go.
Yeah. But
so those wind sprints are going to pay off for you.
About time. I said no water too. That's an expense. Water's an expense. So I said basically 1,600 fewer at bats for Noah Syndergaard. He has 6 home runs, career home runs. Miles Straw only has 5. So at least if we don't get a strong pitcher, maybe put him on center, maybe he can hit a home run once in a while.
Not for long. It'll be 6-6, baby.
When, Casey? When?
It's going to happen tonight now. Watch. It's against Houston. This is the time it's going to happen.
I hope so. Away? I want to send Casey that jersey. I want to send you that jersey.
Well, he ain't hitting. I don't think he's hitting it in left field at Houston. Because it's got a pretty big wall over there. I don't know about right. I can't think of where.
Center inside the park, or does that count, Ed?
At this point,
he should give me an All-Star Miles Straw jersey inside the park, right?
Just as long as it says home run, I don't care how it's classified. It doesn't matter at this point. But I will say one thing, Casey, to your point about, we'll go talk about Texas. They made some big moves. They got Jordan Montgomery, who I talked about last week on this show. The Orioles were looking into him. Texas comes up and scoops them before the Orioles do, and they go out and get Max Scherzer. So what's your take on teams like that? You know, you got the Orioles, you got Texas, and I think they were missing the pitching. They got plenty of hitting. And, you know, they're getting stronger. So, you know, it's one thing we look at the Guardians and just to get in, these teams are looking to make a strong October run. So what are your thoughts, Casey? Now are the Texas Rangers legitimate?
I mean, it's hard to say that they're not, you know, like I think it's hard when you make those moves that they're making and they're already good. It's not like, you know, they're a third place team making these moves to try to win the division, but it's a team that's already in the lead and long way into the season as leading that division. So that's what I think is the difference is you don't view that team really as a contender. I don't think, like I said, going into the year. So that's why I don't think we believe it. And I think you've said, Ed, they're a regular season team. You don't see them being anything in the postseason. Do you think so now with the trades they made?
I do. I think they got the kind of veteran pitcher they needed in Scherzer, and Jordan Montgomery's an up and coming lefty. I do think they match up well. You know, that righty lefty. You know, that's what you need to come playoff time. And yeah, I think they're one of those teams who kind of reminds me of like the '95 Indians a little bit, where they got all this hitting, and you just basically you need steady, strong pitching. You don't have to have the best pitching, and then you have a solid bullpen, which they did trade for a bullpen arm as well in the Montgomery deal. And I mean, they're fortifying themselves in the way that, you know, a team that wants to make a deep run would. So yeah, I'd definitely give them that, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Scherzer's got to be, I think, that second starter that they've been looking for. I mean, he can be an ace at times, but I don't know. As they get older, we'll see. But yeah, I definitely think Texas has to be, you know, if not the favorite. I only say that because it's the Texas Rangers, and it's like calling them a favorite is kind of, you know, you want to kind of see what they do on the field first. But I mean, top to bottom, look at that lineup. I don't know. I mean, you tell me, Keith, you buying the Texas Rangers
after these acquisitions? Yeah.
Okay. Well,
after these acquisitions, yeah. Even though they're still gonna catch hell trying to hold off Houston for the division, but they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs.
I want to give a shout out to Jess Young. What is good? Okay. You know what I'm saying? We love our viewers and everything like that. So you got a comment, send them our way. We'll put them on.
Definitely make sure to comment and subscribe too. Join us and chat the chat too. If you think the Rangers are legit, feel free. Definitely chip in what your thoughts are. I mean, we only have mainly a Cleveland and Orlando pretty much perspective, and Casey's still a Guardians fan down in Orlando, and Keith is a Yankees fan at times, apparently, I'm learning.
He's got those pinstripes on. I can see him.
Oh, yeah. Told you my father did me in. Yeah. He took me
At least he picked a winner. It could be worse. It could be
He took me back in the Reggie Jackson days.
Mr. October.
Yes. And the Ron Guidry days and the Goose Gossage days. And he bought me a pennant and a hat. So
good father. That's a good dad right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. I'll never hate a Yankees fan that also supports the Guardians too, because it's kind of, and I need to make the comparison too, because I'm running out of time here and I got softball. So you know how that goes.
Who's more of a contender, Peyton's softball team or the Texas Rangers?
Texas Rangers, probably. No dig on my team, but that's just a big league sport. But I understand Keith's Yankees perspective from my Steelers perspective, and I'm looking forward for football talk coming up here in the next couple of weeks too.
I can't wait because we play the Steelers on my son's birthday.
Oh,
wee!
It's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, he gonna be crying number 31 on that day.
Well, before you go, Pat, I'm going to hit on some more baseball, some moves. Okay, so you know what happened between last show and this show. Ahmed Rosario going to the Dodgers, obviously for Noah Syndergaard. Peyton, what's your thoughts on that? And obviously, if we can hit lightning in a bottle with Syndergaard, I mean, maybe it does pay off. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't hate the move at all for Syndergaard coming here and getting rid of Rosario. I mean, somebody on Twitter mentioned it, I think, and they kind of made the reference that was kind of what Terry Francona needed, was the Moneyball approach. If you guys remember that movie with the Athletics, and they ended up having to trade away, I think it was Pena. just so he
Right.
was out of the lineup. Same thing for Tito. That's a belief for some fans. It's a theory, and I can't hate anybody's theory. At the end of the day, makes it interesting because now you have Arias at shortstop. You have Freeman. When does Jimenez end up becoming shortstop again?
Right.
Because he's their natural shortstop position. You have so many middle infielders, and this kind of goes all full circle, I guess. Going to the topic of the Texas Rangers and mentioning Clase earlier on, one of the teams that could be interested is the Rangers again. And could you imagine Clase in that bullpen with that rotation, with that lineup? But in return, Texas has this youthful team. If you could get 3 prospects that are going to be solid from Texas that are now being – the machine's clogged now at this point. There's no way you're going forward because you want to win a World Series now. That's the issue the Rangers are running into, and you're going to have to get rid of those prospects. I can see the Guardians doing that because I think there's more moves ahead, but I also think that's just the homer in me at the same time is thinking that this is going to end up being more than what it is, but in reality, this could be it. But, I mean, I like the fact that Rosario, he's gone. He was a solid hitter. I mean, definitely clubhouse guy, which was great for him. But other guys have to emerge over time. And who knows who's going to be at second or who's going to be at shortstop in the upcoming future and let alone the rest of the season.
I say the possibilities.
That's why we have you, Pate, for those good answers right there. That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
And I say the possibilities in the middle infield is endless now.
And I think that's why my theory, that's why I see on Twitter too, a lot of people are talking about Soto possibly. I could see the Guardians giving 5 prospects away for Soto because, I mean, you get him for 2-3 years still.
Yeah.
Maybe with Jose, he's had an influence with Shohei Ohtani. That trade's far-fetched without a doubt. But maybe Soto would end up coming here and they pay him. But that's
far-fetched too.
It is. It's definitely far-fetched, but ticket sales are going up this year. The Guardians, I think, are up 40% and lead the league in ticket sales, which is mind-blowing. But you end up having the ballpark pass and things like that. I mean, this weekend is even, I think they're selling $12 tickets. So you're getting fans in the stands at least, and you have that sponsorship patch. Maybe you're having more money in the near future.
Well, that minority owner is supposed to be coming in, that Blitzer guy or whatever his name is.
I think Eddie Columbus is his name.
I have a small chunk invested, yes.
He's got that Usher 1%.
Yeah, there you go. But I'll be in the locker room when they win the World Series.
You're going to be the Drake of the Guardians.
No mistake on the lake. I'll be the Drake. No problem.
Oh, well, on that note, I'm going to have to end it. Go Guards.
By Peyton. Anything you want to say to the We Like Sportz Show audience before you go?
Go Trevor Bauer.
Speaking of which, we just ended up having an article posted about the Rangers too at 5 o'clock. It just came out. We Like WeLikeSportsPC.com. It's about the Rangers and if they're believed to be a legit contender or not. So if not, check us out on Twitter as well at We Like Sportz PC. Follow me on Twitter at Peyton Vince. There's no real Peyton Vince. That's just CJ or one of his usernames, but at Peyton Vince for me. And you'll be hearing from me sometime soon. So looking forward to a little teaser there, that little feud you guys got going on. But on that note, I'll catch you guys soon.
Go smack that softball around.
I'll hit a homer for each and every one of you. That'll be 3. We'll see what happens.
Good luck.
All right, take it easy, my guys.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
No doubt. Good luck.
That was the real Peyton Vince, everyone.
What an honor. What an honor.
That is great stuff right there. So a couple more baseball. So I want to hit the baseball stuff up real before we transition. I went to the Columbus Clippers game on Friday.
Okay.
And I saw a guy that might be a Cleveland Guardian pretty soon. His name is Jonathan Rodriguez. Now, you all know him because he hit the 2 home runs for Akron last week, and then he got called up to AAA Columbus because Oscar Gonzalez was moved up after the trade. And Mr. Rodriguez smacked a 2-run homer to right field. This kid looks really good. So hopefully, the Guardians have something with this guy. That's the one thing, we've always had pitching in our organization, but obviously with us trading for first baseman today, with Savali. I think that the Guardians realize that whether it be outfielders, infielders, just anybody that can hit the baseball that plays a position, I think that's a premium for this club. And it's nice to see that there are, people down in, the farm system that hopefully, barring any other future trades, hopefully can bring some help maybe, next year, especially. So, yeah, like I said, I saw him. I did an interview with Nick Lofton. So head on over to YouTube on the We Like Sportz Show page. Talked to Nick Lofton. He's our number 3 prospect for Kansas City. Nice guy. It was a fun 3-minute interview. So check that out. I was going to play it, but I'm going to have people go over there and listen.
Teaser.
So that's a teaser. Yeah, that's what they do in the business. Casey's kind of getting me acclimated. So it's,
yeah,
I'm a slow learner, so we're getting there. But also too, I saw Carlos Santana, former Indian Dutch Guardian, heading over to Milwaukee, so maybe they can fend off the Cincinnati Reds, who's kind of hanging around there. So it was nice to see him getting traded to a contender from Pittsburgh. Obviously, we talked about Ahmed Rosario already. Got the Savali trade that happened today. Do you see anybody on this roster, on the Guardians right now on the roster, not prospects or anybody like that? Do you see anybody else being traded maybe? Casey, anybody that you think that maybe could go? Maybe Clase. We talked about Clase maybe, obviously, but do you see anybody else that maybe might be under the radar or maybe like, whoa, okay. Maybe because we do have a lot of infielders that we could kind of package or get rid of?
I mean, yeah, you could see what they have done before. Like, they've traded Will Benson, they traded Nolan Jones, the kind of guys that are Gabriel Arias. Is that the next one, right? Is it a prospect, Oscar Gonzalez, that starts kind of hot, or has a lot of hype, and then we trade him. Look at Francisco Mejia, right? He had the hype, and then we got rid of him, and he hasn't done much. Like, he's not bad, but he's not the star that was expected. And then you look at where he got traded to, it was Tampa Bay, which is, you look at, I've seen them play the last 3 years in person, so I know their team pretty well. And a lot of former Cleveland players were on the Tampa Bay Rays because we make a lot of trades with them. So, and we just made another trade with Savali going there, Kluber too. So it's a lot of, former Clevelanders that play on that team, right? So it's interesting to think about. There's some other, leagues or teams that trade kind of with the same kind of teams, that have a good relationship. But that's what's interesting. But I don't think it's going to be any big name. I think it'll be one of those kind of guys that, if we got him, we got him. If not, it's not that big of a thing.
Keith, what do you think? Anything or just?
They might have one move left in them. They'll probably trade one of their middle infielders.
Okay.
Because they still got the Rocchio kid down in Columbus.
And I saw him when I was in Columbus, Brian Rocchio. Yeah, he made a nice defensive stab, basically in the grass, and threw a runner out. It's bad. He ended the game. He flew out. He had runners at first and second. The Columbus was coming back. They lost 7-6, but he didn't really do much at the plate. I do like the fact that he's Venezuelan, just like Jimenez is, and just like Omar Vizquel was. It seems like, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool to have a second and shortstop, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. They seem like they look very similar. Rocky has got the mannerisms of Jimenez. It's very funny to watch him actually play short. So I can't wait till Jimenez actually transitions back to short from second. I think that's his natural position. So I don't know.
You got Golden Glove at second, though.
Yeah, he does. He does, but and I guess it all depends what Arias does, and it depends what the couple of the rest of them really do. So I guess that all hammer itself out now that Ahmed Rosario is gone. So at least the log jam is getting less jammed, and maybe the front office can see what they got going on. But I don't know. That's basically what I got. But I want to kind of transition the show. We got the next half hour. I think we hit on the baseball moves. I guess the one last thing I want to go is: do you think, besides the Guardians, do you guys think that there'll be any more big splashes when it comes to moves in Major League Baseball? And who do you think maybe some of the teams are, just throwing out there hypothetically?
Atlanta might make another move. Atlanta, Philadelphia could possibly make another move. And Cincinnati might make a move. And the Dodgers might make another move.
Yeah, the Dodgers, that's one thing. They're never going to stop spending money and making moves.
Right.
The Cardinals. in the reverse.
Yes.
Yeah, selling.
Because you got to think, if someone's buying, someone's got to be selling, right?
Right.
So it's those teams on the bottom that that have expectations, and it's like, oh well, I mean, the Twins, they could try to do something, close to home here, because I mean, if it'd be tough to see them not, because then what's their fan base view them as, right? Are they still are they giving up? Are they not trying the best to get to win the Central? In the same story I just said with us, so. That could be a team too that might make some moves that I don't want to, but it might possibly happen.
And I think the best moves that like mid-market teams can do, and I know it's not always, with the fans, it's not always looked upon as the best thing to do, but what the Guardians do, how you can kind of stay in contention and still make moves for the future, and especially like since Cincinnati needs to do that. There's a bunch of other, Minnesota would need to do that. There's a lot of obviously you have the Dodgers and Phillies and things like that can just do whatever they want to do, and the consequences aren't that great. They can just spend their way out. But it's always fun to see what the mid-market teams do, because as much as we don't like it or we think we're punting on the season by getting rid of Savali, I still think we can win the division. I still don't know if Savali would have been the reason why we would have made it to the World Series anyways. I mean, I doubt it. And because I think that our three young kids, basically Logan Allen's, Tanner Bybee, and then Gavin Williams, obviously would have to become studs, 2 out of 3. You know what I'm saying? So you still got that. I think if you trade Clase, though, I think that really puts a hole. That would really be a big hole to fill then.
I was just about to ask you that, Ed.
Well, here's the thing. I saw Karinchak. He did pitch in the game I went to on Friday. He gave up a run. He threw some wild pitches. He looks like the same James Karinchak.
You see my face right now with Karinchak.
Yeah, I don't think we want to go that route, Casey. But
I like Karinchak, man.
So, well, that's wonderful. Okay, we're going to transition from there. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a little. I don't know if you guys hear that. I can hear that. Can you hear that? It's time for breaking news. That's right. This is in Columbus with your We Like Sportz. Breaking news. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce has been hot-headed lately, throwing a punch at a teammate in training camp. Come on, Travis. You don't have to take it out on your teammates because you're having a cruel summer. So go shake it off and forget that Taylor Swift wants nothing to do with you. Tay, call me. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow has reversed course and has decided that he will appear on the hit Netflix documentary series Quarterback. Joe's calf must really be hurting, or Burrow realizes how cool people think Kirk Cousins is now, and Kirk Cousins hasn't won shit. In boxing news, yes, I said boxing, Terrence Crawford dominated Errol Spence Jr. to capture the undisputed welterweight championship Saturday night. You know that tree in the forest that fell and nobody was around to hear it? Yeah, it was louder than this fight. The baseball trade deadline is fast approaching, with teams looking to make moves to solidify their postseason chances, while those teams in the AL Central are just looking to make moves that will keep them above 500. Somebody's got to win that damn division, right?
True.
And finally, Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh was suspended for the first 4 games for allegedly lying to the NCAA about meeting with recruits. Harbaugh bought the recruits burgers, and now we'll have to sit out against cupcakes. This is Ed in Columbus with your We Like Sportz. Breaking news.
You got suspended 4 games for buying hamburgers?
4 games. Well, he lied about those hamburgers.
If he would have been honest,
maybe
not as much.
It wouldn't have been nothing.
Yeah, it was a burger joint. I think it's one of the places up at the University of Michigan. I forget the name of it, but it's a place where all the kids go or something like that. You got to have people looking out for you, Michigan.
That's Burger Hut.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe it's one of those 5 guys. Maybe the 3rd guy told on him. I don't know. But here's what I was thinking about doing. We can. I was going to play a little game here, and then we'll go into some football talk. But I was thinking it's time for a little bit of We Like Sportz Feud. That's right.
Okay.
I was thinking just kind of like the family feud. We're gonna and I thought about how we're gonna score this, but I think that I'm gonna give you a category, and you see how many you can get basically, and then the next person, obviously, just like the real family feud, they can kind of they can steal the category. So
okay.
If you get 3 wrong, you get 3 X's.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that. Yeah. But you're not going to get any wrong because.
Oh yeah, of course.
So we're gonna have that.
Let's do it.
We like sports. See, I'm learning this, so bear with me. So, all right, here's what we'll do. So, who wants to go first? I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10, closest to it. Casey, you go first.
3.
Keith.
8.
Number was 9. Keith, you go first.
Okay.
Is what we'll do. And my son gave these to me, okay, after he was running his sprints and his suicides and the, I put him to work
little
well.
Eddie.
Yeah, I put him to work as well. He's my intern, so I got him doing, looking up stuff. So, I don't exactly know who these people were that answered the questions. I don't ask questions. No names, please. But we got the top 7 on the board. And Keith, if you want a piece of paper or whatever to write down, you feel free or whatever like that, or I'll help you along. But the category is most beloved Cleveland sports athletes of all time. No, I wouldn't say all time. I'll say since 1980. Since 1980. Most beloved Cleveland sports athletes since 1980.
Okay.
Like played since 1980?
Yes.
Yep. Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar is number 1. Yes.
Clay Matthews.
Clay Matthews is not on here.
Hanford Dixon.
Top Dog is not on here.
What? Oh, hell no.
Cleveland sports. There's other sports, Keith. I know
LeBron James.
LeBron James is number 2. Yes.
All right. Okay. Jose Ramirez.
That's your 3rd strike, Keith.
He went
So basically, okay. All right, and then so Casey, all you do is need one of them from 3 to 7. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 choices, 5 chances here.
All right.
Most beloved Cleveland sports athletes since 1980. Or playing days in 1980. I didn't make this list, but there are a couple obvious ones, I would think.
Jim Thome.
Jim Thome is number 5. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Mark Price was number 3. Ozzie Newsome was number 4. Jim Thome obviously was number 5. Joe Thomas was number 6, and Eric Metcalf was number 7.
The only one I would have got was Jim Thome on that list.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll steal the 10. So 100. So we'll say 100, and that'd be 100. That'd be 120. So Casey, what we'll do then is we'll give you the 10. We'll give you 100. We'll give you 90. So you got 190. 190 to 0 right now.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. So now we'll go to it's Casey's category. And there's 5 of them. Cutest quarterbacks from the 2022 season.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord. Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's number 1. They played in 2022, so it makes it
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow's number 3. Yep.
Justin Herbert. All right. There's 1X. Josh Allen.
I'm surprised, and I was very surprised with that.
Oh, Lord. What the hell?
So you're missing 2, 4, and 5. You got 1 and 3, Jimmy G and Joe Burrow. You're missing 2, 4, and 5. They played in 2022.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers is number 4, yes. That was a good get right there.
Right. Man. Let's see.
Got to play.
Yeah. Good thing it's not like 10 seconds here because this shit.
Well, I'm gonna start timing you. I'm gonna put you on a pitch clock here.
I was gonna say.
But come on, Casey.
You think I'm not interested in how attractive these quarterbacks are?
I low-key think you are, yes. A guy that has 3 Baker Mayfield jerseys, I absolutely think that. Yes.
Yeah, I know Baker Mayfield's not on the list.
He's not on the list.
I know that. What about?
You're missing an obvious one.
I'm missing an obvious one.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's 3 strikes. Okay, Keith, you can steal this one now.
Okay. Pat Mahomes.
Pat Mahomes is number 5. Yep, Pat Mahomes.
I didn't even think to guess Mahomes.
Yep, and number 2, which the obvious one, Tom Brady.
Yeah, well,
You're
you
right.
said, yeah.
I mean, 100. We'll go 1.
Brian Hoyer.
250. All right, now we got a closer game. We got 250 to 190. Keith's in the lead.
Uh-oh.
Lucky dog.
All right. All right, Keith. Let's see here. We'll do this. Best rappers of all time.
Best rappers of all time?
Yep.
Sports rappers or just regular rappers?
Rappers.
Eddie Murphy.
No.
Will Smith.
No.
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is number 9. There's 10 of them, so number 9, yes.
Nas.
Nas is number 5, yes.
Notorious B.I.G.
Number 1.
Tupac.
Number 2.
Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne's not on there. That's a good one though. I didn't make the list. I'll say this. Okay, I'll give you. It's not
Eminem.
Exactly, Eminem is number 3. I will say there's a couple on here that I think are on here because they're very popular. That doesn't mean they're the best, but they're popular. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's see. Got Eminem. 50 Cent.
He's not on here. But that was
What?
Good, I think there's some. I think there's some wanksters on here, but 50 Cent.
Oh, let's see. Let me see. Let's think of a new rapper. Let's see. Forget it. I'm going old school. LL.
See, that would have been a good. So you're gonna be. See, I think this list was whoever made this list, whoever they asked, is definitely they're thinking of an era, and I can't tell that until after the question. But Casey, go ahead and try to steal it.
I had 2 guesses, but I'm gonna go with one. Obviously,
yeah.
I'm gonna go Snoop Dogg.
Yep. See, that's the thing. You still. You know what it was? Okay, so Notorious B.I.G.
My other guess was Ice Cube was my other.
Ice Cube was number 6. Here's the
thing.
He
was on my mind too.
I think if you look at Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, a lot of them they went that West Coast or that 90s kind of thing flavor, and they went, like I said, it wasn't exactly the best rappers, but they had, that was a category. It was like the most popular rapper / you know what I'm saying, kind of, because it was it was Notorious B.I.G., Tupac, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar was 4, but that has to be the LeBron James influence right there.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Was J. Cole in that list?
He wasn't, but that's what I'm saying, Keith. If we want to break it down into what we consider the best,
right?
Yeah, Ice Cube was 6, Dre was 7, Snoop was 8, Jay-Z was 9, and Kanye West was 10. So it was more of a popularity kind of, I think.
They ain't even had Drake in there.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wow.
I didn't make the list. It's my son, so blame my son.
I didn't Columbus's list.
Wow.
So you got 3. That's 190. 270, 260. All right, 260. So 0, 15. So 450 to 250 right now. But it could change. Like I said, it could change. All right, here we go. Oh, I got one. This will be a fun one because we'll go 10. Best Cavs. This is Casey. Best Cavs players of all time. And there's 10 of them.
Oh, all right. Jeez.
Maybe this, like I said, sometimes it's better to get the category and to just steal and you get all the, you know what I'm saying? So it's probably better. Keith, you're sitting pretty right here, honestly. Pretty.
LeBron.
Yep, that's number 1.
Mark Price.
That's number 3.
Doherty.
That is number 6.
Kyrie.
That is number 2.
Since when? When's the in
All
general?
time. All time.
Austin Carr.
Since the inception, Austin Carr is number 8. Yep.
World Be Free.
World Be Free's number 10. I'm good. That's a good. Wow.
Z.
Z is number 7.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love's number 4.
Wow.
Dang.
It's got them all.
You're missing what? 2?
Missing 5 and 9.
Yep.
Fuck.
Well, that's not the answer, right? That's not your answer.
No, that's not my answer.
You still got 3 strikes. You haven't used any strikes yet, so that's good.
I know. It's
5
tough
seconds.
because I'm not going to guess. Darius Garland.
And okay, you're not guessing. Okay, I'm giving you 5 seconds.
Donovan Mitchell.
And no. So that's your first strike.
Ron Harper.
And that's a good guess.
Greg Elo.
There's your third strikeout. Okay, so basically, it comes down to you, Keith. Keith, like I said, I think we got to think about. Okay, so I'm gonna give you
Larry Nance.
Larry Nance for the steal. Yes, Larry Nance is number 5. Number 5, and then guess who number 9 was?
Ooh.
This porn actress would fly into Gund Arena at the time and watch his games. This is a true story, and I found this out on Twitter.
Terrell Brandon.
Sean Kemp.
Wow. And you won't even put Sean Kemp there because only really did it for 1 year.
1 season, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. That's 100. That's 190, 270.
Steve Kerr.
Well, that's your ball game right there because that puts Keith at
that's because I got so many right. If I'd have only gotten 2 right.
Exactly. So Keith, you had over 500 to 450. So it was like 520 to 450. We're gonna give Keith the bonus round now. So we'll give him the bonus round. He gets to do. Okay. I'll do this. Okay. Top 7 answers on the board. Best snacks. And basically, you got to run the table. I mean, I'm sorry, you just got to run the table. Best snacks to eat at a baseball game.
Okay.
How many?
7.
7. Peanuts.
Peanuts, number 2, yes.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, yes. Number 5.
Cracker Jacks.
Number 3, yes.
Hot dogs.
Number 1, yep. You're missing 3. Think about this. And I'll give you 3 strikes as well. I know it's a little bit not like the bonus round, but we'll just.
Let's see.
Just think about common foods that you see at a ballpark, whether you think it's, you know what I'm saying? That's
pizza.
Good answer, but But you're thinking right. You're thinking correctly now.
The pretzels, soft pretzels.
I can't believe it wasn't on. I cannot believe it wasn't on there.
What? Oh.
I would have guessed.
Nachos.
Oh, that's it.
Nachos is number 7. Yes.
Yeah. 7. That should be higher than 7.
I agree. You're missing 2.
Especially with the chicken, with the cheese.
Oh yeah, the fucking pulled pork ones too.
Oh, jeez, don't get me hungry here.
Cotton candy.
Cotton candy was on there. Yes. Yep. And then you're missing 1.
Missing 1. Okay.
And
it's probably something simple too.
It is. It is.
It is so simple.
It's simple and it's like, makes sense though. You see a lot of kids with it.
You fucker.
Icy.
No. And Casey, do you think you have a guess?
I would say ice cream. It was my guess, but
you know what? I think that should. It's actually it was fries. There's French fries.
Mm.
Like a cup of fries.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I was going to the county fair.
I know. Well, I didn't make it up. You know what? Hey, you're fired and keep running.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep running. But that concludes our We Like Sportz feud. I don't know if there was any winners. There was time that went by, so that's always a good thing. So.
Well, I want to turn the table on you guys.
Okay, well, Casey's turning the table.
Ed's always the host here for
questions.
these games.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I got to see what you guys think of some of the questions I got and some of the guess who. All right. So the first one I want to hit on is if you had to pick one of these three shooting guards, right? To start your team, let's say, who would you pick? And it's the prime of these players. You got Dwayne Wade, James Harden, and Allen Iverson.
You go first, Keith.
I would say Dwayne Wade.
How come?
Dwayne Wade is more of a, how can I say, he doesn't have to be the lead. And
Does he come with the players that he played with?
You talking about as far as Shaq, LeBron?
Yeah.
Now, when Dwayne Wade first came into the league, he was something else. So.
Look at James Harden's stats.
I ain't no James Harden guy. I would probably take Iverson before that.
Yeah.
What you had?
I know it's between Dwayne Wade, who else again? Harden and
your son.
Yeah,
and Harden.
Well, I always bet with the bloodline.
AI was the other one.
Oh, I'm taking AI all day. You know what? Here's the thing. I have a man crush on Allen Iverson, and here's why. Not because he stepped over Tyronn Lue in the finals against the Lakers. It's because he won game 1 of the NBA Finals against those same Los Angeles Lakers, and the Philadelphia 76ers were up 1-0 in LA. And you look at that team, and you had Dikembe Mutombo, not in my house. Okay, well, that's fine, but unfortunately, the 76ers also had Eric Snow. That team was horrible.
Lynch.
Yeah. You look at the 2007 Cavalier team that LeBron took to the finals, and then you look at that Philadelphia 76ers team that Allen Iverson took to the finals, and you look at that team and you put them together and you got crap. Okay. And the fact that, Iverson even got one game, LeBron didn't get a game. LeBron, the San Antonio Spurs swept us, 7-4-0. AI got one. AI got a game against that, against Kobe and Shaq and everybody. So I will never, ever, ever say anything bad about the answer. And, that whole practice thing, I like guys that have moments.
Practice.
We're talking about practice, man. We're talking about practice. So give me AI all day.
Here it is, our rose sweat bleed now down that court. And they talking about practice.
Practice, man.
All right. So no one took Harden. I see how that. I wasn't saying Harden.
No, we're going to the strip club that I'm taking Harden.
Right.
It comes with the strip club. There you go.
So
if I got if I got Mike D'Antoni coaching, I'll take Harden.
That's true.
Yeah. Package deal there.
Especially if I don't want the ball.
Exactly. The next one's going to be, over the last 20 seasons, which NFL team do you think had the most losses and the least amount of losses?
Last 20 seasons.
It's either the Browns or the Lions.
You could do two. You could do the worst two and the best two. So,
was it the Lions or the Texans for most losses, or was it the Browns?
It was the Browns at 2-2-2 in the last 20 years. So do the math. That's 20 years and 222 losses.
I don't want to. It's over 10 a year.
Correct.
Lions got to be around there.
Okay, and the fewest losses?
Well, the Lions are 2-1-6, and that is second. And third, right behind that, is the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders.
Now the teams with the fewest would be the New England Patriots.
The New England Patriots with 92.
Yep. What up? Green Bay, maybe?
Yes. Green Bay is 126.
Okay.
Now the third one, I think, is interesting. I don't know if you could guess that.
Okay,
you already won, but I don't know if you
can
guess it.
It's probably a consistent team.
The Dallas Cowboys?
No, the Cowboys are 150.
Oh, shoot.
I'm going to think it's one of those teams where they're just they can't.
Kansas City Chiefs?
No. They're 145.
Is it AFC? Is it? Can you give us AFC or NFC, or is that too much?
I mean, it'd be
Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
Baltimore Ravens.
The Pittsburgh. You are correct. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
You are correct.
Oh.
That's an ugly stat right there.
Yep. And then the next one at 4 is the Colts.
Oh wow.
That's surprising.
Yeah. You got to think how many years they had good quarterback play.
They had Peyton Manning in the numbers for about 10 years. Yeah. They had Luck for about 5.
And the numbers they were putting up,
Yeah. And they've had a revolving door the last 2 or 3.
Rivers and Matt Ryan. Yeah, that's great. So speaking of quarterbacks, you got another question here. Patrick Mahomes, right? We most attractive quarterback according to Keith. So Patrick Mahomes, he's played in 13 career playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
How many of those are true road games, do you think, out of the 13?
True road games?
That means they're they're the underdog per se, or the lower seed, or
true road games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's played any.
I don't think he's ever.
Yep. Correct. He has never played a true road game.
Played any. Wow. All their games been at home.
Well, you kick butt in the regular season, you take care of business,
right.
You know? I mean,
isn't that's crazy to think about, though? You know, all that success, never a road game.
Wow.
Stay on quarterback, since we saw that Burrow's going to sign we're thinking before the injury that he just had signing a big contract soon. Herbert signed a big contract, right? Remember, we talked about Deshaun Watson a couple years ago when he signed the contract with us. It was the highest, overpaid. Now, once Burrow signs, he's going to make more than Watson no matter what. Where do you think that the Deshaun Watson contract sits right now in most expensive in quarterbacks?
Is it like 9?
8.
9 or 10?
Right now he's 8. He's going to be 9. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
So do you think that he's around the 9th best quarterback in the league when he's playing the way he can?
I mean, I would say slotted right now because I think that he can play anywhere between a top 5 and a top 10. But let's be real. I haven't seen it in Cleveland yet. Do I think he's capable of it? Yes. Yeah. But I think that, we paid him before his services, services were rendered. Like he got paid ahead of time for basically what I feel like he should be doing on the field. So, hey, compound that with interest and timing and everything. And I think he's right where he needs to be at this particular time. Now, if he balls out this year, then maybe his agent would be like, well, maybe he's underpaid. I don't know that, but that's between them. But no, I think he's exactly where he needs to be.
And I agree.
And now his deal looked like a Family Dollar discount now.
I wish I had that Family Dollar discount with my deals.
Compared to what they get now. Lamar, $260. Jalen Hurts, $258, $255. Justin Herbert, $262. And Joe Burrow probably going to get close to $270, if not more.
Hell, even, what's it called?
If Cincinnati can afford to pay him.
Well, they say Mike Brown says he's going to, so we shall wait and see.
The former Cavs coach? the two-time
Coach of the Year in 2000.
Yeah, Coach of the Year, exactly.
Sacramento Kings, or Queens, as Shaq would call them, head coach.
Yeah.
So you want to bring that up? Perfect for bring up Mike Brown. We talked about 2004. Very frequently on this show, right? I bring it up, and a lot of baseball, right? A lot of baseball. Cleveland Indians baseball. But now we're going to Cleveland Cavs, all right? The 2004, 2005 Cleveland Cavs. Got a player on this team that I would like to see if you guys can get. If you're curious how he played that season, record was 42-40. Yeah, there you go. Our head coach was Paul Silas, who went 34-30, but then it was Brendan Malone who went 8-10, finished that year.
Great.
Our expected win and loss going into the year was almost dead on. It was 43-39, so expectations weren't great. To win the championship, we were plus 4,000. And our over-under for wins on that preseason odds was 43.5. So we went below our expected wins.
What are you gonna do?
We were sixth in attendance in the entire league as well.
Yeah.
So,
what is your question after all those awesome stats?
This player is a center who played on this team. All right. He was. I'll give you his size. 6'8".
A center that was 6'8".
Center that was 6'8" and 284 pounds. He played in the NBA for a total of 7 seasons, from 98 to 2005. And he went from Milwaukee, Cleveland, Charlotte, New Orleans, Cleveland. When he played for Cleveland, his stats were 13 games started. Let's see. 1 free throw made a game. So as a center, that's kind of rough. 5.6 points. 2.9 fouls. 0.9 blocks. And 4.5 rebounds. Who was that? Cleveland Cavaliers.
And he started out in Milwaukee, correct?
Correct. He wore 3 different numbers while he was in the NBA.
He was only 6'8", and he was a center.
Yep.
Was it Tractor Trailer?
Bingo.
Robert Tractor Trailer.
Yep.
Robert Deshaun Trailer is his actual name.
Matter of fact, R.I.P. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
Correct. Yes. So Robert Tractor Trailer. That was the one. I told Keith I want to go to the basketball. Go off the Guardians. Now we're going over to the hardwood nets. You got it. So,
well, I don't know what to say, Casey. You always amaze me. The year 2004. I mean, do you know? Is your do you have like a calendar in your house that just
Cleveland Browns maybe next week?
On 2004. Baby. Yeah.
Maybe we'll go to the Cleveland Browns next week. We touched on it was a 2004. Rushing was last.
Well,
night.
You know what? That's fine. For all the audience out there, get brushed up in your 2004. We're bringing you back. Time Hop says we're bringing you back to 2004 next week because, we're going to party like it's 2004 because for whatever reason, Casey believes that's the year that time should have just stopped.
That's right. That's right. That is correct.
Well, I did. You know what? So basically, are you guys ready for some football? Because here's the deal. Our Cleveland Browns play the New York Jets in the Hall of Fame game Thursday night. Joe Thomas going into the Hall of Fame this weekend. Keith, I know you are a big football fan. You're a big Browns fan. I know you're a big Kevin Stefanski fan, whether you want to admit it or not.
Who?
Yeah. So tell us your thoughts.
Keith Stefanski.
About now, well, we don't want to keep the show positive here, but just tell us your thoughts about the Browns Jets or anything or a Hall of Fame game or anything like that. Any words of wisdom, anything you want to share, what you're looking forward to seeing, how much time you think the starters are going to play, just any insights from Keith Allen.
Don't expect to see the starters. You're gonna see actually don't expect to see Deshaun or Josh Dobbs. You're gonna see the Dorian Thompson and the Kelly Munn on Thursday. And you won't see Nick Chubb. You're going to see Jerome
See the
Ford.
Edson Columbuses.
I will be there. No, I won't be. Only because look, I wasn't guaranteed to start, and I told Stefanski, look, we're the real deal, and We Like Sportz Show, and we should be treated as such.
Play me or trade me.
You won't see Miles or Denzel. You won't see Newsom.
New number.
You won't see a number of people. You're going to see the numbers. Yeah. You're going to see like numbers 30 on up in the roster.
JOK changed his number too. Good thing I didn't.
No Aaron Rodgers. Is that what you're saying?
No
Zach
Aaron
Wilson?
Rodgers. You might see Zach.
Well, I got a question though, because I think this needs to be hammered out for the Browns. Let's go into it a little bit. The number 2 running back position. Are we going to see some Ford out there at all? You think, or anything like that? Because I think the Browns need to solidify that number 2. I think they're probably going to give it to Ford, but also the number 3, number 4. I think there's some jobs to be won, for the backup positions, and I think running back, especially for the Cleveland Browns, that kind of intrigues me a little bit. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Ford gonna win the job, honestly, unless they sign another running back.
Okay.
Unless they sign another running back, but I think it's actually Ford's job right now to lose. They're not going down that road no more.
Why they ran with that Jadeveon Clowney 2 years in a row type thing,
They're not gonna go down that road no more.
Well, yeah. You want a fun fact about the Hall of Fame game? In 1999, the last time the Cleveland Browns were in the Hall of Fame game, they played the Dallas Cowboys and won 24-21. Casey, who was it that kicked the game-winning field goal?
Phil Dawson.
It was Phil Dawson.
Oh, really?
Captain.
Right.
Captain. Phil Dawson, yes.
Who's Derek Jeter? We don't even know Derek Jeter. We got the captain, Phil Dawson. Yes. I would bet I would bet this jersey on the fact that he was a captain for our team one year.
That shows you we was in bad shape.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So let me see if I could find it online. I promise you that he was a captain.
Wow. Also, the only other things I got Trey Lance out in 49er land. He looks like he's struggling, but shocker, right? And then Aaron Hernandez, his brother Dennis, been arrested. I guess he was going to shoot up some schools. Is that anything, I mean, the fact that you're related to Aaron Hernandez, I don't think the apple falls too far from the crazy brother. So we'll see.
True.
Yeah.
Sad.
It is sad. I think about the Urban Meyer, that Florida team and everything, and what a bunch of,
I found it.
Non-good citizens that were on it.
Mm-hmm. That's sad.
Oh, wow.
Let me see if I can get this. How do you flip this camera? I have no idea. But all right, you see Phil Dawson? Where's he at?
There he is.
You see that C on his chest?
He had a C on it? Wow. We was in bad shape for real that year.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
That's how tough. Oh, here we go. I zoomed in. You'll see it better. Right?
There it is. What are you guys' thoughts? Okay, so we'll go. Joe Thomas getting inducted into the Browns Hall of Fame.
Tell us another prime example. Yep.
Tell us what you think about Joe Thomas and his legacy as a Cleveland Brown.
Joe Thomas was probably one of the better offensive linemen in the league. Unfortunately, he played for the Browns during a dry period.
Well, that's our entire legacy, I feel. So
I get in trouble all the time, and for saying this or even thinking about it, but nothing against Joe Thomas. I think you were a great football player, a Hall of Fame football player. I do. It's this statement is more of an indictment of the organization. But if your best player in the last 25 years per se
is a kicker and a lineman,
as a guy that doesn't even touch. One thing with the kicker, at least he touches the football. The linemen, they don't touch the football. Like your best guy didn't even touch a football. You're in some trouble. I'm just saying. I mean, that's not a recipe for success, right?
You're right about that.
you look at the Bengals, they had Anthony Munoz and everything, but their best player, and you could argue he was their best player on some of those teams, but they had, they went to the Super Bowl, they had Boomer, that you had other players that were good. I mean, you can honestly argue with Joe Thomas. There are a lot of times that year, not only was our best player, but there really wasn't a second, third, fourth, or best. I mean, we're talking about Phil Dawson. We're talking about
what you're correct. What other All-Star or All-Star Pro Bowler players, Hall of Famers that has he played with? He played with us for so long.
Well, he was with Josh
And
Gordon
yeah, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
Well, he would have been. He just the NFL.
Oh, yeah, he would have been. Yeah.
In his first year, last year they went 10-6. He did play with Braylon and Winslow.
Yeah. They're not Hall of Famers though. You know what I mean? Like you look at, like you said, the other linemen that are in the Hall of Fame have had the Hall of Fame players they played next to.
Yeah, but I think Edwards went all pro. He went all pro.
Yeah.
And
Longevity's been the biggest problem since the Browns came back in '99. You have these players with flash in the pan with success, and there's just no longevity with it. Even look at Derek Anderson, and we talk about the season of dreams, 10-6 in 2007. The reason they didn't make the playoffs is because they got swept by the Pittsburgh Steelers that year. It's always something. I mean, always.
You know what? I just saw you made a lie. All right, Joe Thomas did touch the ball. So he had a career. Fumble recoveries, he had 10. All right, so he touched the ball 10 times.
Wonderful.
And he's got a total of 2 yards. So he's.
Well, that's 2 more yards than I have. So I'll shut my mouth now.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But before we get off here, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Because like I said, Casey, I always defer to you.
What do you think of the Browns logo? What do you think the midfield's going to be this year? And that's how Brownie's kicked out.
Just go back. Here's an idea. Go back to the NFL shield or go back to the Browns helmet. Stop being weirdos with elves and dogs and stuff that aren't really, you know what I'm saying? Just be normal. Go back to being normal again. That's all I ask.
You don't see the brown new brown dog on the.
That would be a horrible mistake if they did that.
No.
They might do it though. I swear they might. They probably, Keith, because we don't want it. They're probably gonna put that.
You know what? You're right. I hope not.
But they're probably going to.
I hope
sadly, yeah.
When we come back next week and talk on the show, and Keith and I are looking at each other, and we're like, they did it. They freaking did it. And
they did something they weren't supposed to do.
Yeah, like I'm all for secondary logos and things like that, but if that's just for the dog pound, if that's to sell merchandise, that's fine. But to put it on your 50-yard line, now I hope they do something maybe with the Browns helmet, or maybe do something to honor Jim Brown, who recently passed away. That would be cool. Like I would be down with that. But to put some dog on there,
what would you do if you were the Cavs? What do you think the Cavs' best logo is on the court?
Look, I love the old kind of the orange and blue look of the but I know it looks too much like the New York Knicks now, but I do like the Mark Price, Brad Daugherty, those days, that the Cavs logo,
the black and blue.
I'm not actually okay with that. At the time that it came out, people hated it because I remember growing up. I'm a little bit older, so they hated it. But now it's the I call it that little tornado net because it kind of looks like a tornado with the But I'm kind of a big fan of that. I like that with Whammer, the whatever. So no, I'm a big fan of that actually now. But at the time, people hated it.
I actually like the original Wine and Go.
See, I want to like that. I feel like as a Cavs fan, when you think why I should love it and I should embrace it, but for some reason I just can't. Like I'll tell you what I really like. I like the uniforms that they wore with the blue that said Cavs in like the 2015 NBA Finals. Those ones I like. Those ones a lot. I like the Cavs logo from like 2014 with the ball and the Cavs with the sword like that. I'm a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of this whole black with the shield kind of thing. Like, I think it's just.
I'm not really a big fan.
I like our logo, the We Like Sportz Show logo, but that's.
I was gonna say,
I like ours, but I think for the Cavs, I don't associate it with Cavs basketball. That's all.
Yeah.
Anything else, Casey? Do you want? Because I love fashion. I love. We can do this.
Yeah,
all
shoes.
Day.
Yeah, you're right. I know you love all that stuff. So. I got 2 more things for you. 2 more things, and it's all Keith. Keith's got the table, and then
Okay.
Take it home. All right.
Oh.
So, since 2002, how many batters do you think has hit a home run directly into McCovey Cove at the Giants Oracle Park?
That's a great question.
Barry Bonds.
So you're saying one. You're saying one.
They're saying one.
I'm going to say, I mean, there's a lot of balls I think that we've gone.
Well,
Jeff Kent.
you have to think.
I'm going to say 20. I'm going to say 20 players have hit.
You got to so you have to think. I said strictly right-handed.
Oh, right hand? Oh, wow. Okay, wow. Okay.
Jeff Kent.
I'm going to say 0 just to be.
It is 0.
Wow.
There's never been
right-handed
in the 23 years a right-hander that has hit a home run into the park into the
What's
water.
the dimensions? How far is that out there? I mean, it can't be. I mean, it's not like it's.
That's what I was looking up right now.
Because to me, even a right fielder, I mean, maybe they hit it high. Because I know it's got a higher wall, maybe I think, but I'm still surprised by that. I mean,
let's see.
Yeah, let's get the specs on that one, Casey. Because I'm kind of curious. 0. I mean, that's
Barry Bonds hit a lot
those
of
are
them.
Miles Straw numbers right there. Those zeros.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you think Miles Straw could hit a home run at a charity softball game if they move the fences in?
Yeah, I mean,
Miles Straw, if you're listening, Miles Straw, I
like
fun
you,
of you
so.
because I love you, and because you're horrible at hitting home runs.
Mm-hmm.
I have no problem with them. That's you guys. So it is 309 down the line.
Really?
And 415 to the farthest point.
Okay.
And then the fence height and right is 24 feet.
Okay.
So that's, I would say I'm not sure the exact like how long it is to hit water,
Yeah.
But let me see on here as I say.
Well, I'm just like I said. I mean, you gave that question out, and I could kind of tell that you're looking for a 0 answer because it is quite a stat right there for a pure right-handed hit. I mean, never to
correct. Exactly. So I got one more thing.
Okay.
I want you to guess this pitcher in the MLB. All right. His last 6 starts, it was a 1.5 ERA. His opponent slash line is 176 by 229 by 229. And he currently in the season has a 2.34 ERA.
He's a Cleveland Guardian, isn't he?
Correct. Well, yeah, correct.
Is his name Tanner Bybee?
Tanner Bybee was number 2 in
Is it
the ERA, lowest ERA with a 1.78 ERA.
Wow.
For the month of July.
Oh,
Gavin Williams is 19th.
Was it Savali?
Yes.
It was Savali. Of
It's
course
Savali.
it was. Of course it was Savali because we got rid of him.
Yes. So it is Savali was number 1 with the lowest ERA in the American League in the month of July, a 1.45. Bybee was 2nd, and Williams was 19th.
So,
right, so you got to think
said,
out of
congratulations. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly. So now he still does have the lowest ERA in the American League.
Because he's still in the American League.
Correct. It's just on a different team now. So that is the plot twist on that.
You sound like giddy, kind of gleefully. You throw that out there, and yet my heart is wearing this Guardians hat, just shattered once again.
Had to spread it with the audience. Had to make sure the audience knows, the same stuff that I do. So sharing the knowledge.
Thank you.
And we can see Syndergaard tonight. About an hour and a half we got
it. So here's the deal. Let's do this. Next week when we come on the show, Noah Syndergaard's line will be, and I'm going to write it down. What's his line going to be?
All right.
Because I think it's not going to be good. We'll do mine and we'll do yours. So go ahead, Casey. You can start it. This will be a fun activity. And what? I have no idea.
5 1/3.
Oh, you think you're giving him that long? Okay, 5 1/3.
I was thinking of 4 and
well, that's what I was thinking more. But go. I'll say 5 1/3 for the hell.
5 1/3.
How many runs? How many hits?
2 walks.
2 walks.
I'm gonna say 7 hits.
7 hits. Okay.
4 runs.
4 runs. All earned?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna say I'm gonna give him 4 2/3. I'm gonna say
That's what I was gonna say.
4 walks. I'm gonna say only 6 hits because 2 of them are home runs. And I'm gonna say 7 earned runs.
Damn.
I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, that's pretty brutal. So, well, like I said, we'll come back next week and we'll revisit that, and maybe this will be the one and only start that Noah Syndergaard gets for the Cleveland Guardians this year.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I know he'll, even no matter how bad he does, he'll be pushed back out there next time. So
I think it's possible that he's good.
it's possible that my son makes the NBA. I am not holding my breath.
I guess.
I mean, I just think that realistic expectations need to be realized at certain points. And look, I hope he does good. Like, I think it would be a steal if we got it. Obviously getting rid of Ahmed Rosario helped the Cleveland Guardians infield log jam. I think getting a veteran starter who was as good as Noah Syndergaard was, unfortunately, he's 1-4 with a 7.16 earned run average this year. And I don't know.
You need some time off, man.
Everybody needs a little time off, I guess.
That's right. Get that PTO, man.
That's right. We're about to take some time off. But Casey, any final thoughts? Anything that you want to throw out there? One last time, any weird Indians or Guardians players you want to?
Weird. Actually, something is weird. We're not Indians or Guardians. I got last night. I went to a concert.
Okay.
I was looking at tickets. Just for the hell of it. It's like 4:30. Concert at 7:00. Amway Center. 20 minutes away. 30 minutes away.
What concert was it?
Bought club seats for $42.
Okay.
For this concert. It was a big time rush.
Okay. Let me tell you something about Big Time Rush. Let me tell you something. Worldwide. And let me tell you something about Big Time Rush. I saw Big Time Rush at the Ohio State Fair. This is probably, 5-6 years ago. Big fan of Big Time Rush. Love Big Time Rush. Still jam out to Big Time Rush. I have no problems with that, my guy.
I
love it. I love it. And my kids love Big Time Rush. I love Big Time Rush. Good guys. And I think that's awesome.
That was my first actual concert at a stadium too. With Big Time Rush.
Big Time Rush. Oh my gosh, yeah. There's, I see on Twitter and everything with on Brown's Twitter and then Guardians Twitter and basically Cleveland Twitter. I see a lot of people talk about Big Time Rush and nothing but positivity. I know, so I want to say, that's always a good thing. And
they had some good stuff. They had a girl for everyone picked a girl with like their biggest sign. Like I love
cool.
James. They sang a song like to them. Like held their hands and shit.
I love, I love stuff like that. That's all. Anytime there's good fan interaction, that's what we try to do on the We Like Sportz Show, have fan interaction. So, like I said, anytime that people want to, communicate with us, we're always happy to communicate back. And if anybody wants to be on the show or anything, or think they're better than us, or we're dumb, hey, point it out. We love that kind of interaction.
Yeah, point out at our new freshly verified Twitter account. Yep.
Yes, absolutely. We got the blue check mark and. That's what we're paying for, so we got it. So, like I said, I think we had a great show. Like the little, We Like Sportz Family Feud. We talked plenty of Major League Baseball. We hit up pro football. And some breakhead news in between. Obviously, with the Savali thing going down, big stuff there. I know UFC 291 happened over the weekend. Gaethje with a knockout kick over Poirier or whatever like that. So
correct. Yeah, Gaethje's been on a roll.
Yeah,
he's been on a roll lately. And Poirier's big with McGregor.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a big one there. And Derek Lewis came back. Lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Kicked ass there. Yeah. And if you bet on Tony Ferguson, tapped out with 8 seconds left. Right. If you were to bet on all those fights not to go the distance, I think only 1 or 2 out of the 5 did.
Wow.
Right. So the majority, which is for UFC, that's what you want.
That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. Yep.
And Gaethje fucking knocked him. If you look, if you saw that,
I saw that kick.
Yeah. It hit him right in the back of the head, knocked him out, and hit him right in the face again.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it was tough.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. So yeah, those guys are definitely gladiators out there, and
Right.
always fun to watch. I know Dana White was probably happy as heck, but watching those kind of performances. And
Exactly.
speaking of that, Cleveland's own Stipe Miocic versus John Bones Jones coming up in November. I can't wait for that. We're going to preview it on the We Like Sportz Show extensively because it's one of Cleveland's finest. And
It's interesting too because I mean, Stipe is the baddest man on the planet, and then
there's
he
John Bones
did not look too tough against when he lost the belt to Nagano. So
he looked. You know what he looked. You know what it was. He looked slow. What scares me about fighters, obviously, as they get
I
older,
love Stipe.
they have the power. They always have the power, but it's the speed thing that gets me with John Bones Jones. I think that his speed will be the difference. And then I like I said, but I think Stipe, he's one of those guys. You saw what he did against Cormier in their trilogy. He lost the first fight by knockout, came back and won the second two fights. I think Stipe, he is, a full mixed martial artist. He knows all of the disciplines. So I think if anybody's going to pull up the upset, I think he could do it. I am always worried about as you get close to 40 years old, if he still has a chin left. We'll find that out. But here's the thing: don't get hit. Unlike just like in those Rocky movies. Hey, Stipe, don't use your face to block punches this time, okay?
Do you know when his last fight was? If you would have guessed,
Against Nagano.
Yeah, when do you think that was?
That was a couple years ago, I think.
March 27th, 2021.
Yeah, about 2 years ago. Yeah, over 2 years. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Do you know when this next fight's going to be?
I think it's like November. Is it November 11th or something? I think, or something like that. I believe. But it's in New York City. It's in New York City. I do know that, Madison Square Garden. So
yeah. Because we're going. We Like Sportz Show. Peyton Vince is taking us to the.
That's right. He's going to fly the company jet. It's going to be awesome.
Get us some media passes. Columbus Clippers all the way to Madison Square Garden, baby.
That's right. I mean, yeah, going from Huntington Park to
like you said,
baby.
The Drake right over here, man. We said that.
That's right. That's absolutely. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the We Like Sportz Show. It's always fun. We always have a blast. Like I said, check us out on Twitter. Shoot us comments or anything or any suggestions that you have. Check out us online at the WeLikeSportsPC.com. Like I said, everybody enjoy your sports. We love it here, and we will see you when we see you next time. Everybody have a great week. We out. There you go.